Have you ever thought deeply about someone, so deeply that they seem to take over your mind, and then, without warning, they messaged you? Or maybe you were scrolling through social media and suddenly came across their name, their face, their voice. Perhaps you even woke up with a strange heaviness in your chest, only to later discover that this very person was going through something painful at the exact same moment. It might sound like coincidence, but what if it isn't? Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, believed that meaningful coincidences aren't just accidents. He called this phenomenon synchronicity, an invisible thread that connects two events not by logic but by meaning. When two people are emotionally bonded, even silently, their experiences begin to mirror one another. It's as if the soul finds its own way to whisper, even when mouths remain shut. Before we go any further, I want to ask you something. Has this ever happened to you? Think of a moment where you felt this unexplainable emotional pull, only to receive a sign from that person soon after. Share your story in the comments. I promise you're not alone. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. This journey into the hidden side of connection may just shift the way you understand your own relationships. And stay with me until the very end. There's a message waiting that might speak directly to what your heart has been needing to hear. What Jung discovered is that our strongest emotional moments don't simply vanish into memory. They sink deep into the unconscious, where they remain active, alive, waiting. And when someone else holds the other half of that memory, that energy can awaken. That's why thinking about someone with intensity sometimes draws them back into your life. It's not magic, it's resonance. And this resonance doesn't stop at fleeting moments. It builds something much deeper, a kind of emotional frequency that we begin to share, even across distance and silence. And that's what leads us into the second chapter, the hidden, powerful structure underneath all of this, the collective unconscious. Let's uncover how it silently binds hearts together, even when the words have long faded. It might seem hard to believe that someone else could feel your emotions without a single word being spoken. Yet Jung proposed something truly profound, something that explains exactly why you sometimes sense what someone else is going through, even from afar. He called it the collective unconscious, a shared psychic structure that exists beneath our personal thoughts, connecting all human beings through symbols, instincts, and emotions. This isn't just poetic metaphor. Jung believed that we are not as isolated as we imagine. Beneath the surface of our minds lies a vast emotional field where individual experiences and collective patterns meet. It's in this shared space that we begin to resonate with those we are emotionally bonded to. Think about it. When you've cried with someone, laughed with them, held them in moments of silence, or even argued in ways that cut deep, that emotional exchange doesn't simply vanish. It becomes stored. It embeds itself in the emotional memory of the unconscious. And if the bond was strong, if it left an imprint, it continues to echo. This is why, without seeing a message or hearing a word, you sometimes just know. You know something's wrong, or you feel their presence. Not in your mind, but in your body. Your chest tightens, your mood shifts, your breath slows. Your unconscious is picking up on emotional waves coming from theirs. Jung suggested that these kinds of synchronized experiences are not illusions, but expressions of a deeper truth. That your soul remembers what your mind tries to forget. The collective unconscious holds that memory, and when two people have been emotionally close, even briefly, their inner worlds may begin to align without conscious effort. This is also why some signs feel too specific to be random. Why hearing their name or seeing their favorite song play feels like more than coincidence. Something in you recognizes it. Something in you responds before logic has the chance to interrupt. And when that emotional energy becomes too strong to contain, it starts to ripple outward, not just inside you, but into the world around you. That's when the signs start appearing. That's when synchronicity begins to speak. In the next chapter, we'll explore exactly how these sudden emotional shifts happen and why sometimes what you're feeling isn't actually yours. Have you ever been going about your day feeling calm, steady, maybe even cheerful, and then out of nowhere a wave of sadness crashes over you? Or a deep longing fills your chest that you simply can't explain? One moment, everything feels fine, and the next, it's as if someone else's storm has passed through your heart. This might not be just your emotion. According to Jungian psychology, these unexplainable shifts can often come from a deeper source, a resonance triggered by someone else's unconscious energy brushing against your own, especially when that person once held emotional significance for you, when a connection between two people runs deep. The emotional threads between them don't simply dissolve with silence. They continue vibrating, especially when stirred by memory, desire, or inner conflict. That's why you might suddenly feel a surge of anxiety or even peace without anything in your own life to justify it. What you're picking up could be his inner state. Not telepathy, but an unconscious harmony. A shared emotional frequency that continues to hum quietly beneath the noise of daily life. Our bodies are incredibly sensitive to emotional energy. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your gut reactions, they all respond long before your mind catches up. That moment when you feel an urgent need to message him, for no reason, and then seconds later, you see his name pop up. That's not your imagination. It's emotional synchronicity in action. Sometimes these sensations come when he's wrestling with something internally: fear, regret, longing, confusion. And because your unconscious once recognized his emotional signature, it can sense the shift even across time or distance. Especially if you are energetically open to him, the echo of his thoughts may enter your space before either of you says a word. But here's what's truly important. When these emotional changes happen, take a moment, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this feeling really mine, or could I be sensing something beyond me? When you begin to ask that question, you step into the space Jung was pointing to, the realm where the invisible speaks, where emotions become messages, and where synchronicity becomes undeniable. And if the internal signs are this strong, wait until you see what begins to show up around you. In the next chapter, we'll uncover how the universe starts reflecting what you both carry within. You're thinking about him, not just casually. He's in your mind intensely, unexpectedly. And then, a song plays. That song, the one you both used to hear. Or perhaps you're walking down the street, and his name is suddenly on a sign, a book cover, a passing conversation. You open social media and a post echoes something he once said. It's not just strange, it's haunting. But is it really random? Carl Jung didn't think so. He believed that when the unconscious becomes active, it doesn't just stir your feelings, it spills into your external world. Synchronicity, he said, is when events that seem unrelated occur at the same time, yet carry a profound and personal meaning. When this happens, the universe isn't causing it, it's reflecting you. Your inner world begins to project itself outward, using symbols, timing, and emotion as its language. And when two people are emotionally connected, their unconscious minds are not acting alone. They're participating in a shared, invisible dance. That's why these external signs often appear not just when you're feeling something, but when he is too. Your thoughts synchronize, and the world mirrors it back like a cosmic confirmation. Maybe you were just about to text him, and his name flashes on your screen. Or you were finally ready to move on, and then someone mentions him for no reason. These signs might seem small, even easy to dismiss, but their timing is what gives them power. And the more emotionally charged they are, the louder the message becomes. However, not all coincidences are signs. Some are noise. That's why Jung always encouraged deep introspection. Before reacting, ask yourself, what part of me is being touched by this moment? Is this a longing, a warning, a memory waking up? If you stay present, you'll know when it's your soul speaking, and not just your mind reaching. These symbols, songs, names, numbers, even dreams, are how the unconscious guides us toward what we've buried or denied. And when that connection is real, he might be receiving the same signs too. Even if he can't explain them, even if he doesn't know why, he feels it. And the deeper the bond, the more powerful the signs become, especially when they begin to show up in your sleep. In the next chapter, we'll enter the mysterious world of dreams and what they reveal when the soul can't speak. There are nights when you wake up, your heart racing, the image of his face still vivid in your mind. Not just a memory, Not a fantasy, but something deeper. A feeling so real it lingers into the morning, as if part of him truly visited you while you slept. If that's ever happened to you, it wasn't just your imagination trying to fill a silence. It may have been your unconscious reaching for him, because that's where words fail and dreams begin to speak. According to Carl Jung, dreams are the language of the unconscious. They're not nonsense or random illusions. They're meaningful expressions of what we cannot yet process or say aloud. And when two people share a powerful emotional history, it often appears in their dreams, not as literal events, but as symbols, metaphors, and feelings that carry more truth than facts ever could. You may have dreamt of him during a moment when you were close to letting go, or when you were missing him deeply. And strangely enough, the dream felt more intimate than any message you could have sent. Jung taught that the soul uses dreams to balance us, to reveal unresolved emotions, and often to connect us to others we're still bonded to, whether we realize it or not. And it doesn't stop with you. Sometimes both people dream of each other, on the same night or around the same period. They don't always talk about it. They may not even remember it clearly. But it happens. Two unconscious minds still entangled, still echoing one another's inner world. When he appears in your dreams with emotion, with sadness, affection, or longing, it may be a sign that something in his soul is stirring too. Jung also spoke of the anima, the inner feminine image that lives within every man's psyche. If he ever projected that onto you, even unconsciously, it means you hold a symbolic place in his inner emotional development. You might appear in his dreams as more than yourself, a symbol of healing, of fear, or of something he hasn't yet dared to feel. And the more vivid, repeated, or emotionally intense the dream, the louder the unconscious is trying to speak, especially if it shows up just before something changes between you in real life. And yet, even without dreams, there are moments when his presence feels unmistakably close, as if his energy is brushing against yours. And that's exactly where we go next. It's quiet. There's no message, no call, not even a recent photo to trigger the thought, but still he's there. You feel it, not in your mind, but in your body. A weight in your chest, a sudden warmth, a strange calm, or a chaos you can't explain. It's like his energy is walking beside you, even if he's miles away. And when that happens, you begin to wonder, is this memory or is it something more? Jung believed that silence is never empty. When an emotional bond has been formed, the absence of words doesn't mean absence of connection. The unconscious keeps vibrating, even when the conscious mind tries to move on. And if he once stirred something deep inside you, then part of that energy may still be alive between you, pulsing quietly beneath the surface. Have you ever had a sudden urge to check your phone, only to find a message from him waiting? Or felt a strong wave of emotion at night, and days later learned he was going through something? These aren't random, these are the echoes of a bond that still resonates. His presence still leaves an imprint on you. And perhaps whether he shows it or not, you still leave one on him. Some of the most powerful signs are the ones we can't share with anyone. They live in our dreams, in our silence, in that space between breaths when we feel something we can't explain. The world might say, move on, but the soul whispers, not yet. But here is the most important message I promised you from the very beginning. Feeling this connection doesn't mean you must chase it. Your intuition is valid. What you felt is real. But your heart deserves not only to be felt, it deserves to be chosen. A true connection should not live only in vibrations, dreams, and missed messages. It must live in actions, presence, and truth. So if he still thinks of you, you'll feel it. But don't wait to be loved in silence. You are worthy of love that is spoken, returned, and lived fully. As Jung said, what you resist not only persists, it grows. But what you accept transforms. Accept what you feel, honor it, and when it's time, let it guide you, not bind you.